Alrighty then. Okay, so the purpose of this video, it's really to show how important your comments are. Okay, now this is Forbes breaking news. Okay, so it's mainstream stuff. Okay, a huge audience, huge. Okay, now, right, I get that it's nothing compared to some of the more low IQ stuff out there, but it's big, it's popular. Over 1 million subscribers shown here, 1.5 million views on this video alone. Okay, and to their credit, there's a lot of comments here that are visible. All right. A lot of our comments being hidden and blocked lately. All right, and so they'll disappear, reappear, and then disappear again. It's a real problem. Okay, look at these comments. Okay, so the first one here, the top comment: protect this woman at all costs. She's a target of the U.S. government. And no doubt, she is a target of elements within the U.S. government. Very powerful, very dangerous elements within the U.S. government. Okay? And people need to understand this. And I'm not saying everybody that's in government is bad. All right? Let's be clear about that. Okay, this next comment, it's crazy how such a serious thing as child trafficking can all be responded with. Thank you very much. Your time is expired. They don't give a damn about those children, and it shows. They do care about how long you speak for. All right? And it really seems like such a joke, the whole C-SPAN thing. It's like, these people, I mean, bless Rand Paul, and Ted Cruz to a certain extent. But, I mean, really, nothing happens. They'll grill somebody, like, oh, is this a bridge? Should you be doing this? And then they just keep doing it. Okay? Or not doing it, what the case might be. All right. Now we have another comment here. CPS does the child trafficking as well. Okay, many of us are familiar with this. All right. My kids actually ended up in state custody for a while, but they knew that they were very likely to be returned to their family. Okay, because they ask you, like, what's your support system, and they find out, oh yeah, no, you actually do have family, relatives, and friends that care about these children. They know they're not going to be able to just put them in one of these foster homes where they're going to get abused or whatever, okay? Anyway, so this person says, I was placed in foster care from the ages of 7 to 18 years old. They tried to force my mother to terminate her right when I was 12. I went against it. The things I have seen and been through while in foster system is haunting me. I am diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay, so that's borderline personality disorder, essentially. These systems destroy families, especially children. I mean, I think there's don't get me wrong, I think there's a distinction, but these terms, CPTSD and borderline personality disorder, are almost interchangeable. It's a problem. It's a problem. Okay, now that's as far as I read before clicking the record button, but we'll move on. See what else we got here. The smirk of the woman in the background Russ said, stop retaliating against whistleblowers was absolutely disgusting. If the devil had a face, that would be it. I'd have to watch this again to see what this person's talking about. They might be misreading the signals, but no, it's shocking how many people are truly awful. I don't know why this isn't on all the news networks. The naivety. It's horrible. Pray this woman and pray for the innocent children. Dude. All the major news networks are funded by criminals. Absolute criminals. Like these pharmaceutical companies, and look, I get that some pharmaceutical products, there's reasons to use them in certain circumstances, whatever. But they're convicted felons. They're all convicted felons. All of them. And that's the kind of people that hurt people. They harm people's bodies, children's bodies. Okay? It's vile. And those are the people that fund the news networks. And you don't know why it isn't on all the news networks. Yeah, maybe because they're being funded by people that are in on this stuff. Okay? And they go on and say, pray for this brave woman and pray for the innocent children. Do you like that other comment? Boom. Well, I don't even know if that's... Yeah, okay. How is not front page news? Oh, yeah, well, who funds them? Follow money. I'm astounded, and no one in that audience is even in shock. WTF. Mm-hmm. Indeed. We still get some of these replies, too. I don't know why it's not on all the news networks. Somebody probably tried to answer that. Because Republicans isn't going to do nothing about it, but using it against Biden. Yep. They just use it as a political football. That's it. Okay. And we oftentimes find that a lot of these Republicans are just, they're soliciting like underage male prostitutes, right? The Republicans are usually into the boys. All right. Sorry. You know. But the fact, okay, it's not about left versus right, it's about right versus wrong. Another person's answer is because the level of corruption of this country is at the top. Okay, somebody says main headquarters in Tucson, Arizona system and law enforcement are all corrupt. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that, but it sounds like possibly something going on, of particular note in Tucson, Arizona. Been there. I can't tell you anything about it other than it's freaking really, really, really hot. This person says, right, this is the only place I heard about it. How can it not be being talked about everywhere? Yeah, I've already answered that. Look into who owns. Here we go. Here we go, Lane. Double 11. And that's a glance shot thumbnail, but I'm down. Anyway, let's see what she says here. Look at who owns all the news channels throughout the West. I think it boils down to about 6 companies in total. I think it's shrunk to like 5. And then they'll own, I apologize, this is not her talking, this is me interjecting, that I believe it's like, that the people that own these companies even own shares in each other's companies, so it's really just one big swarm, okay? Now she goes on. With certain billionaires own large shares, yeah, what I just said, okay. They show and tell you what they want you to see, and I don't know how more people don't understand this. This is me interjecting again. She goes on, she says, from whatever perspective they want. Think about what that means for everything you've ever believed on the news. Bam! Bam! We need more of this kind of awareness. Okay, and then Mars Feature says, it's nowhere. I found this by accident on YouTube. Some souls there must have allowed it to get into the recommended algorithm. See, I don't know. These, honestly, this is me interjecting again. These craven, lunatic, control freak liars, they have to rely on honest people to be able to function. Okay, their organizations have to be full of conscientious, well-intentioned, honorable people with integrity. Okay, so what they do is it's pretty just. Look, just be brave, okay? We can overcome this sort of stuff, okay? Now, he goes on, he says, I read several international newspapers from across Europe daily. It's vile they're burying this, okay? Okay, and no comment. Similar reason as to why Fed now, CBDC, and the risks aren't being shown by the media. The systems are corrupt and captive. Look, you care about these trafficked humans, okay? It's not children, although obviously that's the one that tends to pull the heartstrings the most. Think about how much easier it'll be for them to shut you down if we allow CBDCs to be put in place. Currency that can be restricted. They can restrict what you can spend it on. They can expire it at any time they want so that it no longer is valid, right? You can think you have money in the bank, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's been expired. Okay. And they can choose what you can and cannot spend your money on. They can shut down any efforts to try to expose this stuff can be shut down. You understand this? If we allow the CBDC stuff to be rolled in, it'll actually make it more difficult to rescue humans, okay, that have been enslaved. All right, because that's really what we're talking about is slavery. This is a slave trade, okay? And yeah, and it gets real bad, folks. Okay, body parts, selling body parts and stuff. Yeah, we're not getting too much detail. I'm not reading that comment because just at a glance, it's like what? I don't think they proofread your comments, folks, please. Anyway, this next person says exactly we have one or a few people that controls the entire world, barely anyone can care to notice. Well, it's best we can figure it's less than 10,000. Okay. You know, just really multi billionaires, trillionaires, whatever. Like with a lot of these folks, like they're well, it's a state secret, whatever. We're not going to get into those kind of details at this time. Cameron says those 6 company CEOs, boards, and high-level management are brothers of the same club. See, okay, so now we're back to George Carlin talking about the club. That guy was way ahead of us on a lot of stuff. This is me interjecting again. And he's really, he's really truly a philosopher, okay? All right, people still don't understand yet. They still think he was a stand-up comedian when really he's a philosopher that learned how to sort of game the system to his advantage by doing comedy. Anyway, their brotherhood, he goes on and says, their brotherhood is what keeps the money circulating to them, also dictates their decisions. Yeah, well, it involves women. Okay, now, it's kind of interesting calling it a brother. There is the Brotherhood of Death. Okay, I guess not just at Yale, like they have chapters in other major universities, but yeah, the Skull and Bones at Yale is the most notorious one. Okay, it's actually called the Brotherhood of Death, and it is co-ed. They allow females as well. Okay, and this person has a very concise answer, because they are part of it, right? Not very much detail there, but I mean, it gets the point across. Yeah, and another person says it's not as surprising when you do your own research. Okay, so reading, like you're doing some reading. Oh, and this douchebag, don't waste your time praying on do something. It's like, dude, how about both? Okay, listen, douche. Instead of prayers which don't help at all, maybe start community action groups. No one puts bumper stickers on their cars. No one wants to speak out like that. Why not direct others to learn of these problems? Dude, you can argue whether or not God's real, okay? But we found that it takes people with strong religious faith to actually go into these dens of wickedness and pull children out of there without completely destroying them psychologically, okay? It's humans, okay. A belief in divine transcendence, whatever you want to call that, that's adaptive for humans, we've found. Okay, it's associated with higher fertility rates and the ability to withstand trauma. Okay, so no, you don't just pray; you actually do stuff, right? Like you can pray and ask, "What shall I do?" You may not have the answer though. Let's see. Okay, another person says because you're telling the truth and they own the networks, pushing their political agenda is more important than suffering of thousands of children. You know what? I should slow down now. Pushing their political agenda is more important than the suffering of thousands of children. It's so vile. Because they all run by the same powerful evil people who don't want you to know about their involvement. It's actually all over, but not reported to us from the mainstream news. If they're told what to report and what's forbidden, the independent news channels talk about it a lot because they're out too. Well, there are sort of your controlled opposition that are gatekeepers that get out ahead of stories, try to cope them. Okay, so that's a concern. And then you also get this dynamic where the mainstream news may report on stuff like this, but they don't make it a main like headline article, like it's not a front page article, like bury it in the newspaper. Okay. Another person says people are afraid to put bumper stickers in cars. Someone says, yep. Someone says, it's not on the mainstream news because they own those TV stations, even the food you eat. And that's a little paranoid. But there's a lot of truth to it, isn't there? Isn't there? All right, and I guess that's about all we have time for now. I hope this has been helpful. And have a good day. Unless you want to have a terrible day, then I guess have a terrible day.